Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me as we cast our 2022 visions together. I am tremendously excited and privileged to be talking to you about this topic. And transparently, I am working on my own 2022 vision, and you'll see some behind the scenes work on that journey as well. My name is Katie Woodrick. I am the owner and founder of Rising Tide Talents. And some of the things we'll be talking about today are your power word, setting not just goals, but smarter goals, and we'll define that together. I'm also going to share some templates, some tools, some productivity hacks that will not only make this more fun, but also help you stick to this vision in the new year. And I want to get started by sharing just a sneak peek into myself and my personality and why vision casting is so important for me, not only in my professional life, but in my personal life. So you can see on the split screen, I'm also a bit of a split personality. I love to lead, to coach, to mentor, and to be effective at my job. I work in marketing operations, I work in growth and acquisition, I work in business and revenue operations, I have run technology teams, but at my heart, I am kind of a mermaid. I love to be at the beach. I love to have peaceful time with my family. I'm the mother of 2 young girls. I'm a wife. I'm a friend. I'm a daughter. And sometimes marrying those 2 pieces of my personality is difficult. I find that having a vision and then backing that up with mission, with core values, with actionable plans, with to-do lists, all of those things, they help me keep the main thing. And they also help me get back on track when I feel a little untethered. And I will be very transparent with you in this moment. 2021 for me was a bit unmooring, if I can use a nautical term again. I was growing, I was succeeding, I was achieving big things in my blue power suit dress. And I didn't always feel fulfilled. I felt a little bit lost. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Is it the right vision? Is it the right purposeful action for me in this moment in my life stage? And then over here, as I'm a mom, as I'm somebody who's working on herself, as I'm trying to have more of a positive impact on the world, as I'm, trying to figure out what my legacy is, am I doing that well? Am I serving myself? And I found, to be totally honest with you, that I had a bit of a reconciling of my purpose, of my power, of the role I played at work and at home. And I took a step back. Many of you know that I took a sabbatical from my full-time job and am now in the process of totally re-strategizing and mapping out what 2022 will look like for me. And the reason I share a little bit of that self-indulgent story of Katie is that I hope it resonates with you. And I hope that you know that it's never too late. It's never the wrong time to hit pause and say, I do not feel good in this moment. I do not feel good in this place, in this role, in this body, in this mindset. And I've had to really challenge myself to do hard work and to say no and to make big decisions that are very difficult in the moment, but that I know are opening myself up for opportunity. So I'm going to spend quite a bit of time in this workshop talking with you about the logistics, how to set your goals, what power word to use, productivity hacks, but none of that is meaningful if I don't address the mindset and the fact that you deserve to feel fulfilled, you deserve to feel happy, you deserve to feel valued. And the more that you can cast the vision for yourself, for your professional life, for your personal life, and where the 2 intertwine, and frankly, where there is no overlap, the more effective the rest of what I share is going to be. So vision casting, let's just do a quick definition. Often at a company, this is done by the CEO or by the leadership team, and it's kind of trickled down. So oftentimes, if you're part of an all-hands meeting, no matter how large or small your team is, if you are not the CEO of your business right now, you may be the recipient of vision casting. You may not necessarily have ownership or authority in that process, and that's fine if you're on the right team and if it's the right vision and if it's cast effectively and efficiently. Maybe some of you are, in fact, CEOs. Maybe some of you are business owners and you are the ones casting the vision for the team. Maybe some of you are not working in business right now and have no intent to, or are like me, trying to map out the next steps and what the next year is going to look like. Each and every one of you has the opportunity to cast your vision, whatever that looks like for you. So as we walk through the exercises in this workshop, please apply them in the best way that resonates for you. If I use a business case example and that isn't relevant to you, replace it or throw it out. Vision leads to a goal, leads to tracking, and leads to adapting. Everything starts from the vision. Vision is sort of the North Star, right? Vision, and I'm a to-do person. I'm a logistics. Okay, great. Vision, super, solid. Now, how are we going to do it? That's where I am in my zone of genius. It's not always casting the vision. That's not always my zone of genius. Executing on it, great. That's where I shine. But again, if I want to take ownership of this next stage of my life, if I want to be the one in the driver's seat of my future, if I want to be the one empowered to say yes to things, and sometimes more importantly, to say no to things, I have to set that vision. It is the North Star. It comes back to the vision. Does this align with that vision that I set for myself? Does this particular initiative or decision or choice or task, does that align with the vision? So it has to start there. The thing about vision casting from my perspective is that you cannot come at it from a mind reading standpoint. Here's what I mean. When I say manifesting versus mind reading, you need to speak this. You need to literally put it on a wall of your house, on a whiteboard. You need to tell a bestie. You need to tell a team. You need to speak it out into the universe. When you take active steps to share your vision and to get everyone around you into that vision, even if they don't agree, even if it's not theirs, even if they don't have a direct role in implementing or holding you to that vision, the more that you put it out there, the more that you are saying, this is important and these are my boundaries. This is my vision. If you set the vision and you keep it to yourself and it's on a scratch pad and you're the only one that knows about it, how can anyone else around you hold you accountable? How can anyone else around you support you or challenge you when something isn't in alignment with that vision? So in order to manifest, in order to see something happen, I strongly believe that you need to speak it. Literally, you need to say it out loud. You need to tell a friend. You need to tell lots of friends. And let's get into a little bit more of that woo side before we get into the nitty gritty. I want to ask you a few questions and just sit with them if that feels good. Or if you're watching the replay, hit pause, do a deep dive, take a screenshot and come back to these questions. But start asking yourself, what do you want to do in 2022? What do you want to do? Relieve yourself from having to figure out the plan. That comes later. What do you want to do? Maybe more importantly, what do you want to stop doing? I know that when I am very honest with myself, a lot of times it's the omissions. It's the I'm not going to do this. I'm no longer going to do this. I'm going to say no to this. That's more impactful, more effective. And ultimately, it's by omission that I find the real vision that serves me. How do you want to feel? When you are at your highest, when you are operating at your best, how do you feel? What is your highest value? What do you do that is your zone of genius? What do you do that's different? What do you do when that is taken away or when you are not able to act on that vision, when you are not able to serve your highest value? What is it that you're not doing, or what is it that you're doing that prevents you? What does your highest and best good look like? You can dream big at this point, okay? Vision is not about the articulation or the steps. Again, we will get to that. Because having a vision, having a goal is no good if you don't also have a way to track it down and make it happen. But at this point, we're just whiteboarding. We're just vision casting. Vision boards, vision casting. I love a vision board. I do. But at this point, we're talking about the actual idea. What do you want to do? What are you called to do? How are you making an impact? What are you releasing yourself from? That can then in turn become a vision board. I love looking at Pinterest or looking on social media walking into someone's home and seeing an actual vision board, cutouts with magazines and words scrawled and colorful stickers and pens and words or whatever that looks like. A vision board, fantastic. But that's a little bit different from what we're going to do today in the vision casting. And clarity is key. Your vision can and will adapt, but this is something that you don't want to be changing every day, every 30 seconds. The vision that you've cast, this has to be your North Star. If your life stage changes, if your situation, your circumstances, your interests change, then you come back to this and you do this all over again. But on the day-to-day, you want to have clarity about this vision because you will be challenged to come back to it. So let's get to our first exercise. This is what I call trickle-down therapy. So I do see a therapist. I believe very much in speaking with somebody and about that personal development, whether or not you are in crisis, whether or not you have experienced some kind of trauma. I myself will tell you that 2021 was the year that I embraced therapy, and it changed everything for me. So this comes straight from my therapist, but it's an exercise I find very effective when working with clients, when working with colleagues, when working with friends. I am at my best when. And I'm going to share some examples that apply to me. But before I get to that slide, I want to ask you to think hard and to literally write this out. I want to see the pen and paper, the whiteboard, the notepad, whatever it is. I am at my best when. Let me share some examples just to get you started. This is Katie. I, Katie, am at my best when I walk at least 3 miles a day. This is a game changer. I didn't know I needed this until I started doing it during my break, during my sabbatical, and now this is at the top of my needs list. I am at my best when I walk at least 3 miles a day while listening to a podcast, an audiobook, or other content. I am at my best when I do not have work, email, or Slack installed on my phone. It makes it too easy to be tethered to technology. It makes it too easy to, I'll just sneak another peek. I'll just make sure there are no fires. That takes away from me being focused on my family. It takes away from me doing the hard work of making myself a better person and taking advantage of rest and recovery and learning new things. I am at my best when I have time set aside every single day, every day, for networking, learning, or content creation. This is the creative side of me. If my 9 to 5, if my 8 to 6 is packed with meetings and items and and I can't just talk to somebody, learn from them, listen to them, watch a webinar, create a blog post, write a newsletter, make a presentation deck, I'm not at my best. So I'm at my best when I have time for that. I'm at my best when I feel safe to build and grow a personal brand that is not necessarily aligned with or lockstep with the professional brand, whether it's my own company or the company for whom I work or a person for whom I work or my colleagues. I am at my best when I keep my social feeds to about 80% people that I don't work for. I have suffered from being in an echo chamber in 2021. And in 2022, I am committed to being at my best. I am committed to my highest and best good. And I have to be surrounded by people who don't necessarily think like me, who don't necessarily look like me, who don't necessarily operate in the same industry as me. And I have to make sure that I leave room for 80% of the people for me to learn and grow from. I'm also at my best when I feel safe expressing my support for marginalized groups, when I have clarity and autonomy over budget timelines and etc. And I'm at my best when I have a mentor or a career coach who cares about me more than my work. That's critical for me. And that took some hard work. That took some soul searching to say, I need somebody who's on my side, who cares about Katie, the person, who cares about Katie, the creator, not just the outcome of what Katie does. So I hope that's been helpful for you as you go through exercise number 1. Exercise number 2, power words. I love them. I really, really do. And again, I'm going to show you the power words that I'm focusing on for 2022. But I want you to start just by closing your eyes, or if now isn't the right time, challenge yourself to do this at a quiet time. Close your eyes, take a walk, just be. Don't actually act, don't actually sit down and go, I've got to find my power word. I want you to just sit and what comes to mind? What feels good? Maybe go back to some of those questions that I asked earlier. What does it feel like when you're at your highest and best good? What is your value? What do you want to do? What do you not want to do? I've had so many fantastic power words that I've come back to, and certainly over the last few years, as our community has changed, as the environment has changed, as we've lived through a pandemic, those power words have shifted quite considerably. As I've become a mom, different things have become priorities. Power words are, again, another example of kind of a bedrock or a North Star that you come back to. And so here are some of the words that I'm currently marinating on. I probably won't commit to my power word until the stroke of midnight. Let's be clear, I actually won't be awake at the stroke of midnight on New Year's Eve. But as I go into January 1st, I'm going to see how these feel. And it's possible that I'll have a few. I think other experts would tell you need one, it's your focus word, but I'm at peace with having a couple of different words or mantras that serve me in different times and different spaces in my life. Flow and fulfillment. Here's a very candid, share. Flow and fulfillment were my words for 2021, and I did not achieve them. I have taken big steps. I am in pursuit of flow and fulfillment. I have more clarity than ever on what I need to do, and more importantly, what I need to not do in order to have flow and fulfillment. But I've decided that I'm doing a redo. I get another opportunity to make flow and fulfillment my power words for 2022. But I'm also at the same time very interested in peak performance. And this is where the picture of me in my power suit and the picture of me standing on a beach with a big smile, this is where this comes into play. For me, peak performance is how can I operate at my highest performance, at my peak mentally. That is continuing working with a therapist. It's surrounding myself with people that care about me, that support me, that make me laugh, that tell me when they feel like I'm out of balance. It's peak performance for my physical health. I'm very interested in continuing to lean into my physical fitness, really strategizing my nutrition and committing to making sure that I fuel myself well. I am going to live to a healthy 100 plus. This is my goal. And so I can only do that if I take care of my body. And so peak performance mentally, physically, peak performance at work. I have so many goals. I have so many things that I want to tackle and achieve in 2022 on the professional side. But I need to know that I'm performing at my highest and best good. And again, some of the things that we've already talked about for me, I am at my best when, will help me achieve peak performance. So define your power word. Come back to this. If it's not clear right now, if you don't immediately have one coming to the top of your mind, this isn't the right exercise for you at this moment, but you will want to come back to this. Exercise number 3, setting smarter goals. So we generally, you know what a SMART goal is, I imagine. It's applied to your physical fitness. It's applied to work goals. It's applied to really anything. SMART. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. And that's fine, but it doesn't leave much room for adaptability. It doesn't leave much room for grace. And setting goals in the vision casting process, I want you to be extremely careful that the goals that you set are separate from the vision. So your vision should not be that I'm going to make $100,000 in my business in 2022. Your vision needs to be that you're serving this group of people, or you're having an impact on this part of your community, or you are having a sustainable, profitable business through X, Y, and Z. The goal, the metric, we'll get to that. So your goals in terms of achieving this vision, they need to be smarter. They need to have some of the SMART things in mind, but I want you to take a step back and I want you to think about this next exercise in particular and start to think about how you will take action on your vision. So here's an example. I introduced myself as the founder and owner of Rising Tide Talents. This is an idea, an initiative, a concept that I have had in my brain on various forms of notebooks, in business plans for the last 18 months. But I haven't been at a place where I was ready to take action. I did not have the confidence yet that I was ready to step out of something stable and comfortable and move into something a little bit less stable and somewhat uncomfortable. But as I am casting my vision, as I am doing the hard work of saying, how do I want to help people? How do I want to empower content creators? How do I want to provide community? How do I want to help other digital disruptors and entrepreneurs and people who have a great story? How can I help them take their business to the next level? My vision is to have that positive impact. My vision is to provide the community and the resources and the collaboration and the cooperative aspect of the internet, and really kind of bring it back. And so my vision is that I help other busy content creators enjoy the process, find profitable business plans, and ironically take action in their own business. So for me, taking action on my vision and taking a leap. I bought the URL, risingtidetalents.com. I worked with a graphic designer to get logos put together and a brand guideline. I have a business card made. I am taking the leap and building my wings on the way down, which is something that has served me very well. And it's because I feel very moved by the vision. I feel moved by the opportunity. And I feel moved that so much of what I set I am at my best when is achieved when I take action on this particular initiative. So I want you to think about some things that you can take action on as you set this vision, as you put out these big, hairy goals, these big, audacious opportunities, and you tell people, you start to manifest these ideas. I want you to think about ways that you can take action and you can start to invest. Think of ways that you can commit that feel safe, that don't push you all the way off the cliff of your comfort zone, but put you right up against the edge. And telling the world that I'm the owner founder of Rising Tide Talents before it's a fully fledged business, before I have 20 testimonials and a fully formed business plan, taking action and getting things moving, having momentum going into the new year, aligned with my vision and aligned with what serves me, has been incredibly impactful. And it's part of the reason that I'm here today talking with you and very transparently, again, letting you look over my shoulder as I put some of these things into practice. So here are some ways that you can take action. This is not a comprehensive list. This is not an exhaustive list. I'd love to know what you would add to it. More importantly, I'd love to know when you do take action. Tag me, email me, let me know, send me a text message. I would love to support you as you take action and start to fulfill your vision. Tell a friend, tell the world. Again, manifestation versus mind reading. You have to let people know what you want to do, where you stand, what serves you, what no longer serves you, and you have to let everyone around you in on that. Make an investment. I invested in the domain. I invested in the graphic design. I invested my time. I invested my energy. Those are important. But I made an actual financial investment. I'm not asking you to go spend a lot of money on your business plan. I'm not asking you to invest in leaving your job. I'm not asking you to do any of those things. I need it to be safe and secure enough for you that you're able to do it in a way that action feels really good. But I do believe that when you invest even $1 in your business, it means that you feel more like an owner. You feel more like you have control over the outcome, and you are that much more likely to follow it up with action. So make an investment, whatever that looks like for you. Find an accountability partner or community. Find yourself a coach. These are all so important. Even if you operate best as a solo, right? Even if you're not the Spice Girls, you're Posh Spice. I'm dating myself a little bit here. But even if you are more interested in doing the solo and you're not necessarily a team builder, you're not really interested in growing a massive community or direct reports or whatever that looks like in your life, find an accountability partner or a community that can support you, that can hold you to your vision, that can give you feedback on your ideas in a way that, again, feels safe and nurturing and supportive. If you aren't in business and you're trying to apply this to your personal life, the same applies. Find somebody to whom you can express your fears, to whom you can brag about things when they're going well, to whom you can ask for feedback, to whom you can just vent. These are all so, so, so important as you cast your vision, because your vision will be challenged. Your vision will be challenged, and you have to have that supportive system that cares about you. Surround yourself with reminders. Again, I'm a to-do list person, but I also love mantras. So when I am in my office space, I know you can't see it right now, but I have my vision, my mission, core values. I have my why. I've got pictures of my kids. I've got testimonials from happy clients. I have my vision in neon lights. Some of these are truly at play right now as I look around my office, and some of them I have pinned or in my Amazon shop to purchase, in my Amazon cart to purchase. I want you to surround yourself with reminders about who you are, what you do, and what you don't do. Again, make the leap, maybe. Make the leap, maybe. A few years ago, I started a venture called Make Media Over. It's actually still an active business. I still work with clients. I consult for them. I coach them. And I'll talk a little bit more about opportunities to work with me if you're interested as we wrap up this workshop. At the time, I had been succeeding in my side hustle, but I had a stable full-time job, and I was nervous about leaving that. My business had taken off. My business needed me. My business served my vision. My business served my core values, where the work I was doing, while I loved it, it was rewarding, I felt like I was making an impact, it wasn't mine. And so I was presented with this decision. Do I go all in and really trust that this vision is going to carry me through and that I'm going to be able to make a profit while still having integrity in my business? Or do I take the safer route? I'm not the world's biggest risk taker. I love stability. I love when I know what's ahead. But I made the leap. I bet on myself. This was years ago, and I'm so thankful that I did. Making the leap and building my wings on the way down was so, so pivotal to me. But again, it may not be the right time for you. It was easier for me to do that because I had created and grown the side hustle, had a stable set of clients, had some sustainable, predictable income, knew exactly what it took to run the business. And so I was not starting from scratch when I made the leap. If you are in a toxic environment, if you can no longer stand the thought of going in and working with your team, in your business, if there are things in your personal life that just feel like you're just about in crisis mode, take the leap. Take the leap. I promise you can build the wings on the way down. If you aren't ready for that, take the beginning of 2022 to set yourself the foundation, rely on that vision to carry you through, and set a goal. At the end of Q1, check in with yourself. Am I ready to make the leap now? If not, set a new goal. Do not let yourself let go, though, of your dreams. Don't be afraid to take some risks. I highly urge you to speak and write in present tense. So I am the owner of Rising Tide Talents. I do serve X, Y, and Z. I am a good mother because I do A, B, C, D. Speak in present tense. The more that you can say it, it will happen. Okay, this is a little bit woo, this is a little bit manifesty, but if you go from saying I'm going to, or I will be doing this, or I hope to, or I could one day, if you take back the power and you make it present tense, own it right now, you will see incredible opportunities come. And use all the tools. I mentioned therapy. For me, that's been incredibly impactful, and I was hesitant to embrace therapy. So you'll use all the tools at your disposal. If there's someone that you can talk to, whether it's a true clinical experience working with a therapist or just having, again, that accountability partner that you sit down with, if it's embracing software, if it's hiring team members to help you, all of these things are examples of taking action. And then finally, I want you to define your boundaries. This is a very painful, difficult part. But unless you are willing to do this, I promise you that your vision will slip away and you will lose faith in the vision. Here are a few things that speak to me in terms of boundaries. You can come up with your own mantra, and if you have a great one, send it my way as well. But a few reminders. Once you figure out what respect tastes like, you know it tastes better than attention. Almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you. Your boundaries are that you don't take work text messages or emails after a certain time in the day. You don't work on weekends, or you need to establish certain boundaries about the way that you communicate, the way that you don't communicate, things you're uncomfortable doing. Define that now for yourself, and then you need to hold people to those boundaries. And then focus on the powerful, euphoric, magical synchronization, the beautiful parts of life, and the universe will keep giving them to you. I have received those blessings when I've been open to them. I have received those opportunities when I have been open to them, when I have expressed gratitude, when I've done the hard work, when I've had high integrity, when I've done the right thing because it's the right thing. I find that the universe gifts me back. Finally, a few healthy hacks to share with you. Remember that no is a complete sentence. Oh my gosh, is that a powerful statement? Batch process your work and try to keep your focus narrow on any given day. Don't get so distracted by the long list of things that you need to do that you get nothing done. Focus, batch process. If you have an inbox that's out of control, assign yourself 30 minutes and just tackle your inbox. After that, tackle the next project. Don't answer one email and then go to another item on your list and then another item on your list. I'm telling you, you will not be successful if you let yourself get distracted by all of that. Eat the frog. For me, that simply means doing the thing that I am least excited about first thing in the day. Get it behind you, especially if it's impactful. An example from my business is that I don't love doing the accounting and invoicing side. It doesn't bring me a lot of joy. But if I don't do my account reconciliation and invoicing and reach out to clients and have contracts signed, I don't have a sustainable business. So I often do that first thing in the morning, take a break, and then dive into the next creative endeavor that really does fuel me. The Eisenhower Matrix I've talked about. I'm going to give you the very short version and we can talk at length about this approach and why I love it so much. But it essentially is a box, a 4-box matrix in which you assign things that are coming in as urgent, not urgent, important, and not important. And if something is urgent and important, it's on fire, you fix it. If it's urgent but not important, maybe you can delegate it. Maybe you can put it on the back burner and complete it later in the day. If it's important and not urgent, then you assign it to your schedule. I can't get to it today, but Friday I have an opening. I'll tackle it then. If it's not urgent and not important, see you later. Okay? That Eisenhower Matrix is going to be your best friend if you feel overwhelmed or you're not sure what steps to take. When in doubt, delegate. Probably the hardest thing for me to do. I am not a natural team builder. I tend to want to do it all myself, but I can't. So when in doubt, delegate. And if it feels wrong, it probably is. You have to trust your gut on so much of this. If you have cast the vision, if you have held the line, if you've set those boundaries, if something feels wrong, it probably is. And remember that a rising tide lifts all boats. When we help each other, when we support each other, when we do good for other people, even if we don't know what the end game is, even if we don't see that clear ROI, a rising tide lifts all of our boats. With that said, I hope that you have been inspired to cast your 2022 vision. I would love to hear more about it. I am so thrilled to be sharing my behind the scenes with you and telling you about my journey. And I will also be sharing much more of this transparent journey on social media. If you go to risingtidetalents.com or if you email me at katie@risingtidetalents.com, I would love to connect with you. You can also follow me on social media, on my personal accounts, and on my new business account. And I would love to invite you to learn more about my brand new community, launching at the beginning of 2022, but open for enrollment right now. I am so tremendously excited about this initiative. It is my incubator, it is my accelerator, it is my co-op, it is my collaboration, it is my community that I hope to set up for content creators just like you, for people who are doing good in the world, who are having an impact, who have huge ideas and need the support, need the accountability, need the coaching. So if you go to risingtidetalents.com/community first, you'll see the early access that you have to my brand new community. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you so much for your participation. And I wish you the happiest and healthiest of 2022s.